So we're both a little camera shy here, so you'll just have to excuse us if we don't speak super loudly. This is Ma Wei, and she joined our advisory board, so it was almost 2 years ago, and has been very helpful in giving guidance and advice and also oversight in making sure that we're honoring your food and heritage, and we're constantly learning and growing, and I feel like we've just scratched the surface, and so I'm very grateful for all the time and advice and care that you show toward us. I really am I feel very privileged. So we'll ask a few questions. First of all, where were you born? Where is your family from?
I am from Sichuan province. I grew up in a small town outside of Chengdu, which is 50 kilometers from Chengdu in Sichuan province.
Yeah. And some you have some family still there, right?
All my family was
everybody's still there.
Yeah.
And when did you move to the U.S.? And did you move directly to Charleston?
No, I did not. I was moved here moved to United States in 1997. We stayed in Santa Barbara, California.
Oh, okay.
Then we moved to here in 2004.
Okay. So been here for a minute, seen lots of changes.
10 years, 20 years.
20 years. So thinking back to growing up in the 1970s, and it was a small city because it was sort of far out, but it is the breadbasket of China. I mean, I was amazed going to the markets in Chengdu. Sorry, but what did you grow up eating?
I grew up eating. Well, in 90, I grew up when the Cultural Revolution is still going on. Chinese Cultural Revolution starts from 1966 to 1976. So when the food was shortage, scarcity, we don't have much, to eat. Our typical, like 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. In China, then people said for breakfast, so 早上吃得好，中午吃得饱，晚上吃得少。Which means breakfast you eat nutritious, and lunch you eat a lot, and dinner is a small meal.
Okay.
So for breakfast we usually have a rice porridge.
Okay.
That rice porridge are called kangji. In Cantonese we call it kangji, but in Sichuan province we call rice porridge. Basically same thing, with boiling water with rice, and you boil until it's getting soft. Along you eat pickled vegetable or fermented tofu. That's for your breakfast. And for the wealthy family, upper middle class, then you can eat egg, right? And because the Chinese said breakfast you have to eat nutritious. Where's the nutritious from? So you eat tofu. You drink soy milk. That's cheap and nutritious. So breakfast is rice porridge, pickled vegetable, and soy milk. And lunch usually is plain rice. The topping is like stir-fried vegetables, along with tiny meat. Meat is not always abundant. Then dinner, you eat a small portion.
Okay.
And like most people, like the 6 p.m. is the standard, or 5 to 6 is standard time to eat dinner. And if you didn't eat dinner at 7 or 8, that means you are labor work. You're farmers.
Okay.
You have to work all day long.
Okay.
That's different from here. When here, make appointment at 7. Why 7?
Yeah.
That's only poor people labor work will do. Most people will eat at 5, 5:30. Eat a little bit.
Yeah.
That's it. And
That's so interesting to me.
Yeah.
Did what was your favorite food growing up?
My favorite food is homemade dumplings. And we don't, because back then the food was shortage. You need the stamps to buy rice,
wow.
oil, noodles, and meat.
Okay.
Even you have money, if you don't have the stamps, you can't buy it.
Okay.
So rich people have to buy the stamps from poor people and to be able to get more. So once a week on Sundays. Back then in China, we only have one day off, it's Sunday. We work 6 days a week. And my dad will make homemade dumplings, chives and minced pork. And the pork is the meat. When we say pork, when we say meat, that's pork,
Always.
automatic pork.
Okay.
So that's my favorite food in when I grew up.
Nice.
I have good memories.
Yeah, of course. Sunday, I mean, thinking about my family and how my very, very poor. And on Sundays, my grandma would buy like a little bit of steak and make some sort of like tacos for the next, handmade all the tortillas. And it was beans and rice the rest of the week. That's all anybody ate. But on Sundays, a little bit of red meat. And it was this celebration, this coming together, and so special.
Together.
So very similar.
Very special. Yeah. That's just memories.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when you were little, really doesn't matter you eat,
Yeah.
You don't,
yeah.
Everything. And back then, China, everybody is equal. Nobody feel they are poor, where we don't see outside of the world. We do not know. We just, when I had a very happy, carefree childhood. And everybody else is the same.
That's amazing.
So everybody is happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
No comparison, really.
Yeah. I mean, there's something really beautiful about that,
Yeah.
and, I think it creates community too, because there isn't differences.
Right.
What was the experience of eating Chinese food in America for the first time?
Yeah. Wow, the first time I was, my husband was a graduate school in Santa Barbara, University of Santa Barbara. So, and the first time, I think the most shocking to me is the iced water. When I walked in, the waiter gave me an iced water. That's totally shocked me. First of all, the water, you don't drink cold water while eating Chinese food. You always drink tea or warm water because water was not safe to drink. And add ice to the water. That's just not acceptable. And the most Chinese American food was in Santa Barbara was Cantonese food. So those names on the menu, I never heard it, like a chop suey, pu pu chui. It's like, oh my God, what is it? My English was not very good. Then I have to ask my husband, explain everything to me. And I grew up in Sichuan where the food is spicy and numb. And then the sweet sour style, I have to ask the waiters to give me oil. Oil, they don't have it, but they had what's called
like a sriracha.
Srirachas,
okay.
Yeah, Tabasco sauce.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which is amazing.
Yes, but it's just such a different thing. It's a fermented chili, and then made into a sauce, instead of this toasted in oil.
Yeah.
So it's so different.
Yeah. But they have those paper flakes.
Uh-huh.
Then I was just shake it to my mouth. It's like a medicine for me.
Yeah.
If I don't eat it, I feel anxious.
Yeah.
And the decoration of the Chinese American restaurant is much more traditional, decorative, and beautiful. Cultural Revolution destroyed everything basically. Like everything has to be simple. If you decorate it, that's bad.
Oh, interesting.
It's a bad. You can.
Yeah.
That's what else? Yeah, the food is great.
Yeah.
Food was not bad. You know, like a fits the purpose.
Yeah.
It's much better than pizza.
As long as you have your
Tacos,
chili flakes.
Yeah, as long as I have my chili flakes, yes, it was great. Yeah, it's a pleasant, you know. Then we go out once a week for
Nice.
Chinese food.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you think that the decorations were a sort of a nod back to and bringing culture to people, or and making sure that their space was celebrating the culture and showing all of that? I mean, I think for us, we've never brought a ton into our spaces, and I did that because I felt like we didn't have authority, and I didn't want people to walk into our spaces and feel like maybe we were misrepresenting or inaccurately representing. But we recently had, the past year and a half has been so hard, and I was like, I have to reset our energy in the restaurant, in this restaurant specifically. And so I worked with a feng shui expert, and they said I had a 5-point yellow star issue. And so,
what is that 5 point?
So I know, it was so fascinating to me. So it was, and I forget what all the points are now because it was so much information and it's so new to me. But basically, we were too water focused, and we needed to bring in more earth elements into the space. And so we brought in some certain statues, and we're all carrying around charms on our keychains, and their little amulets and things kind of hidden around the space to sort of reset. And I felt like working with this person gave me a little bit more comfort and understanding, and felt like it is actually more respectful for me to bring some of these pieces into our spaces than to not. And it's such a, being that it's not my culture, like I just never want to misstep or any of that. So it's been very interesting to think about decoration and decor and how certain colors and textures and elements kind of play into those things. So speaking about those,
But you did a great job.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Great job.
But I realized we just had an energy issue, and kind of thinking about the culture that we love so much. I feel so privileged to be able to serve this food and have this opportunity. And it is a privilege, absolutely. So kind of starting there. And I mean, I feel like it's working. So I feel like I don't know, I feel like it's helped.